There is a hidden secret right before your eyes. Symbols hidden in our world, clues left in plain sight by those who understood something profound, something most of us forget. They were builders of temples, keepers of mysteries, and their legacy was never just about stone or architecture. It was a plan to transform the human mind. Imagine unlocking this hidden knowledge, learning to lead the same force that shaped empires, guided by symbols that speak of power, balance, and resurrection. This is not just a story about the past. It is a key to your own potential. And if you stay with me, I will show you how to read this language of the soul, to see what only a few have truly understood. But be careful. Once you see it, you will never look at the world the same way again. Imagine for a moment a builder, not just any builder, but one destined to build a temple unlike any other. A temple that is both eternal and invisible, created not of stone but of the essence of the human spirit. This is the work of the mason, and it is symbolic of each of our own journeys. The tools and structures are metaphors for how we can build ourselves, establishing a solid source of character and strength. Symbols like the square, the compass, and the all-seeing eye may seem mysterious, but each has a specific message. The square speaks of moral integrity, guiding our choices. The compass reminds us to seek balance and measure in all things. And the all-seeing eye represents the vigilant awareness we must cultivate, learning to see the unseen, to understand the hidden patterns that shape our lives. But these symbols are more than isolated images. Together, they create a grand design. They are a call to action, a challenge to each of us to awaken, to see beyond the mundane, and to enter into a deeper understanding of our purpose and potential. The Freemasons called this the builder's journey, but it is a path for all who dare to follow. In this video, we are not just decoding symbols, we are embarking on this journey ourselves, learning the wisdom that lies at the heart of the Masonic tradition. And then we will see how this symbolic language guides the builder through one of the most mysterious and powerful transformations in existence. And so we begin with the builder's journey, a path that reveals the challenge, purpose, and resilience needed to bring light to darkness and meaning to chaos. Let's enter the story. In the legends of the Masonic tradition, this builder is called to create a masterpiece, but he faces an unusual challenge. He must build without the familiar sounds of hammer and chisel, without the guidance of the voices around him. This is no ordinary building. It is a temple of the mind and heart, made only of his own inner resources, patience, and vision. Each layer, each part of this temple is a piece of himself, his beliefs, his values, his experiences. And with each stone he places, he comes closer to understanding his purpose, his very being. But as on any courageous journey, he encounters obstacles. Three forces confront him: thought, emotion, and action. These three are powerful allies, but also dangerous enemies, for each has the power to shape or destroy. Thought represents your mind, the infinite realm of ideas and questions that guide you forward or distract you from your vision. Emotion is the deep, all-consuming force of feeling that guides your passion but can just as easily lead you back. And action, your desire in motion, determines whether your intentions will come to fruition or fail. Together, these three forces test you, shaping the outcome of your work and, ultimately, your character. First, these forces overwhelm him. Thought turns to doubt, emotion descends into unexpected desire, and action becomes reckless, almost destructive. His creation, the very temple he is building, appears broken. But the builder does not give up. He knows that to succeed, he must learn to master these forces, to align them so that they work in harmony. He must learn to guide his thoughts with clarity, temper his emotions with wisdom, and channel his actions with purpose. Only then can he continue his work and fulfill the calling that brought him here. This story is more than an allegory. It is a reminder that each of us, in our own lives, is that builder. We all build something meaningful by uniting our identities, our dreams, our beliefs. We all face the forces of thought, emotion, and action, and as the builder, we are called to balance them. Thought without clarity leads to confusion. Emotion without restraint becomes chaos. And action without purpose can tear down what we have worked so hard to build. And so the builder's journey is also the journey of self-discovery. It's about finding strength and resilience, about knowing that each challenge is part of the process. Just as a sculptor must chip away at a piece of stone to reveal a form, we must confront our own rough edges, the impure parts of ourselves, to bring forth something extraordinary. Masonic legend tells us that the builder eventually reaches a breaking point. He faces betrayal, hardship, even isolation. But in that moment, he makes a choice: to forgive, to press on, and to trust the process. He understands that the tools he has been given, the very ones that nearly destroyed him, are in fact the keys to his own evolution. It is only through struggle, through learning to wield these tools with skill and intention, that he can bring forth the temple within himself. In the Masonic tradition, the story of the builder is also a story of resurrection. The builder who once struggled alone becomes the master who is born again. He is reborn, not through miracles or divine intervention, but through his own dedication to the journey. He has learned to create, to shape, and ultimately to transcend. Now let us take a closer look at the symbols that guide us, guiding us to master this path and reveal the deeper meaning that lies in light and shadow, in the language of symbols, and in the unexpected process of building a temple that is not on earth, but within us. Two forces that have captured the human imagination since the beginning of time. In the Masonic tradition, these forces are more than just opposites. They represent the fundamental tensions within us all: ignorance and knowledge, chaos and order, darkness and vision. But what if these two, rather than being enemies, were necessary companions on the path to understanding ourselves? Imagine yourself alone in the darkness. At first, there is fear, discomfort, a sense of being lost. But then a single flame appears, a light in the darkness. This light represents knowledge, awareness, the beginning of vision. But the Freemasons teach us that light is meaningful only because of the darkness. It is only in the darkness that the light can truly shine. In this way, darkness symbolizes not only the unknown, but a fertile ground, a place of potential, of possibility waiting to be awakened. Consider how often in our own lives we hide from the darkness. Whether it's difficult experiences, painful memories, or uncertainty about the future, we are taught to fear what we don't understand. But within the Masonic framework, this darkness is where we begin. The darkness, as it is called, is the blank canvas on which we paint our inner worlds. By facing our own darkness, we begin the work of shaping ourselves, of bringing clarity to the things we choose to ignore or hide. In Masonic art, we see the builder dressed in a blue robe, adorned with green light. Here, blue represents wisdom, a silence, a calm presence amidst mystery, and green symbolizes enlightenment, the light of knowledge that breaks through ignorance. This builder stands on the border between light and darkness, learning to work with both. He knows that light reveals, but it is in darkness that transformation begins. But light and darkness are more than metaphors. They are tools. Freemasons teach that by embracing both forces, we gain a more complete view of ourselves. Darkness is not just something to be conquered, it is something to be understood, something to be worked with. The hidden aspects of our minds, the parts we usually avoid, hold valuable lessons. We are called to bring our light, our awareness, into these places, to navigate with courage and curiosity rather than fear. But there is a risk. The builder learns that too much light can be as dark as darkness. In a world flooded with information, endless distractions, and external expectations, it is easy to get lost, to lose sight of what really matters. So the task is balance, to cultivate the light without losing yourself, to illuminate without losing yourself. As the builder moves forward, he realizes that light is not an external force, but something within. It grows from understanding, from resilience, from the willingness to face one's own shadows. And it is this inner light that guides him forward, a constant beacon in the midst of uncertainty, showing him the way, even when everything seems dark. So what does this mean for us? Working with the light and the dark is recognizing that every experience, every challenge, has a hidden lesson, a piece of the puzzle that makes us who we are. The Masonic builder teaches us that true growth comes not from avoiding difficulties, but from embracing them. The light we seek is not out there. It is something we cultivate, something we bring with us. As we move into the next section, we will delve deeper into how Freemasons use the symbol of darkness, a path of mastery and understanding, to guide the builder through the worlds of light and darkness. This journey is one of constant ascension, one step at a time, where each step reveals a new side of meaning, purpose, and self-knowledge. In the Masonic tradition, there are three forces that shape each personal journey, three pillars that are essential to human development. These are thought, emotion, and action. Think of them as the foundational supports of a great temple, each necessary to keep it standing, each influencing the integrity and balance of the structure. But these are no ordinary pillars. They are the forces that guide our lives, shaping who we are and how we interact with the world around us. Thought is the first pillar, representing the mind, the infinite realm of ideas, beliefs, questions, and insights. Thought is our inner voice, the lens through which we perceive reality. It guides us to truth or distracts us with illusions. The Freemasons teach us that to master thought, we must learn to discipline our minds, to seek clarity amidst chaos, and to focus on ideas that lift us up rather than those that pull us down. Thought is a powerful creator, shaping the world through the beliefs we hold and the perspectives we adopt. When used with intention, thought builds us up, constructing a mental model that supports our growth. But left unchecked, it becomes a maze, trapping us in futile steps and doubt. The second pillar is emotion. Emotion is the heart of experience, the driving force of passion, empathy, and connection. It is through emotion that we feel alive, that we are moved by love, beauty, and purpose. But emotion is also the source of our greatest challenges: anger, shame, fear, and desire. On the journey of self-discovery, Freemasons teach that we must learn to connect with emotion, to guide it rather than be controlled by it. This does not mean suppressing our feelings, but channeling them in ways that serve us, recognizing when they lift us up and when they pull us down. Emotion, when harnessed, becomes a powerful ally, propelling us forward with conviction and compassion. But when it controls us, it can be as destructive as any physical force, destroying everything we have worked to build. Finally, there is action. Action is where thought and emotion come together in the physical world. It is the pillar that gives form to our ideas, that makes our intentions real. In the Masonic journey, action is not just doing. It is purposeful, deliberate, and aligned with the highest principles. It requires courage, discipline, and the understanding that every action, no matter how small, has an impact. When thought and emotion come together, action becomes a natural expression of who we are, a means of shaping the world in alignment with our deepest values. But when they are not in harmony, action can become reclusive or lonely, disconnected from our true intentions. These three pillars, thought, emotion, and action, work together to create balance within us. Thought without emotion becomes cold and calculating, disconnected from the richness of life. Emotion without thought becomes impulsive and uncontrollable, driven by fluctuating desires. And without action, even our deepest thoughts and feelings remain undiscovered, mere shadows of what could be. In the Masonic allegory, the builder learns that his journey is one of integrating these three forces. It is not enough to be intelligent. We must also be compassionate. It is not enough to feel deeply. We must also act with purpose. And it is not enough to act. We must also act with clarity and intuition. This balance is what makes the builder whole, what transforms an individual from scattered pieces into a cohesive and meaningful life. But mastering these pillars is no simple task. It requires vigilance and patience. Thought, emotion, and action are constantly in flux, responding to the world around us, shaped by our experiences and choices. Each day, we are challenged to bring them into alignment, to create harmony out of chaos. This is the essence of self-mastery, not a single accomplishment, but a daily practice of refinement, of checking in with ourselves and adjusting as needed. And so, each of us is our own builder, charged with the responsibility of balancing these pillars in our own lives. It is a task that requires awareness, resilience, and humility. Freemasons teach us that by refining these three pillars, we shape not only ourselves, but also the world around us. Because when we live in balance, we bring balance to everything we touch. As we move forward, we will see how these three forces are reflected in Masonic symbols, guiding us to create a life that is not only strong, but meaningful. Join me as we climb the pillar of mastery, learning how thought, emotion, and action become steps on the path to personal transformation. In the Masonic tradition, the image of a ladder has profound meaning. It is more than a simple path from one level to the next. It is a journey of mastery, a progression through stages of understanding and growth. Each step is a symbol, a challenge to be overcome, a lesson to be learned. The ladder invites the builder to climb, to elevate his mind and spirit, moving closer to wisdom with each step. The ladder begins at ground level, where two great pillars stand, symbols of the duality of existence. They represent light and darkness, order and chaos, the seen and the unknown. To take the first step, the builder must recognize this duality, understanding that life is a balance of opposites. This is the foundation upon which everything else is built. Without this foundation, the journey upward would be impossible, for it is in navigating the polarities of life that the builder gains strength and insights. As he ascends, he encounters a series of 7 steps, each representing an essential field of human knowledge: grammar, rhetoric, logic, arithmetic, geometry, music, and astronomy. In the Masonic tradition, these disciplines are not just academic. They are stepping stones on a spiritual path. Grammar and rhetoric teach you how to understand and express yourself clearly, to articulate your truth. Logic and arithmetic sharpen your mind, supporting your ability to think critically and solve problems. Geometry and astronomy connect you with the order of the universe, revealing the beauty and precision of creation. And then there is music, a language that speaks directly to the soul, reminding you of harmony and rhythm, of the invisible forces that guide all life. Each of these disciplines serves as a tool for shaping the mind and soul of the builder. They are steps of refinement, teaching him to bring order to his thoughts, beauty to his words, and purpose to his actions. Masons believe that mastery in these fields prepares one not only to understand the world, but to transcend it, to perceive a higher reality that lies beyond the physical. But the ladder does not end there. Beyond the 7 steps, the builder encounters another series, 5 steps representing the senses: hearing, smell, taste, and touch. These are his instruments for perceiving the world, for experiencing life in all its richness. Yet he learns that the senses have 2 sides. They can reveal and they can deceive. Sight can show him beauty, but it can also delude him with illusions. Hearing can bring wisdom, but it can also lead him astray with lies. Each sense, the Masons teach, must be conquered, refined, so that it serves the builder's higher purpose rather than distracting him from it. Then, as he climbs still higher, he encounters 3 final rungs, symbols of the ancient trinity that runs through countless spiritual traditions. They represent 3 aspects of himself: body, mind, and spirit. These 3 are the final balance, the culmination of the journey. They remind the builder that although he is a physical being, he is also a mind and a soul. True mastery lies in uniting these parts, bringing body, mind, and spirit into harmony. To climb the ladder is to go from ignorance to understanding, from chaos to order, from isolation to unity. But this journey is not about escaping the world. It is about understanding it more deeply, learning to see clearly, to feel with compassion, to act with purpose. The ladder invites each of us to climb, to refine ourselves, to elevate our lives, so that we can bring something meaningful to the world. This journey is never complete. The ladder continues forever, taking us to ever higher states of consciousness. And so, each rung becomes a meditation, a practice, a wake-up call. The Freemasons teach us that the true path to wisdom is not a single revelation, but a series of gradual insights, each one lifting us a little closer to the light. As we continue, let us carry the teachings of the ladder with us, using them as tools to shape our journey. Now we return to the final and perhaps most mysterious of symbols, the all-seeing eye, the symbol that waits at the top, representing the culmination of this ascent, the vision that sees beyond sight, the consciousness that transcends illusion. At the apex of the Masonic journey stands one of the most enigmatic and powerful symbols, the Eye of Providence, commonly called the all-seeing eye. This eye, set within a triangle, looks down upon creation, seemingly offering wisdom, guidance, and insight. But what does it really mean? Why has this symbol captivated, inspired, and even troubled so many throughout history? The Eye of Providence is no ordinary eye. It represents vision beyond sight, a form of consciousness that transcends the physical. It is commonly associated with the idea of divine observation, a guiding force or consciousness that observes and understands all things. For Freemasons, this eye is a symbol of an expanded state of consciousness, a vision of a deeper reality, where one sees not only the world but also oneself, separated from illusion. To see through this eye is to see beyond what is on the surface, beyond appearances, to the true essence of existence. In Masonic teachings, the eye is also a reminder that we are never alone. It speaks of an inner observer, the part of ourselves that quietly observes our thoughts, our actions, our motives. This inner observer holds us accountable, urging us to act with integrity, to live in alignment with our highest values. The Eye of Providence invites us to ask ourselves, are we true to our purpose? Are we living in accordance with our principles? Are we being guided by wisdom? It serves as a silent reminder that we must cultivate this inner vision if we are to master ourselves. But there's more. The triangle that encloses the eye has its own layers of meaning. In esoteric thought, the triangle represents the Trinity, body, mind, and spirit, the three elements that, when aligned, form a stable foundation for personal growth. Each side of the triangle is crucial, and within its shape, the eye sits as a unifying force. It's a powerful image of harmony, suggesting that only by aligning these three aspects of ourselves can we see clearly and act with purpose. This eye, however, is not just about inner vision. It is also about unity. Seeing through this eye, we are reminded of the interconnectedness of all things, that we are part of a greater design. Freemasons teach that each individual is a vital part of this grand architecture. The choices we make, the actions we take, ripple out into the world, shaping it. And so the all-seeing eye is both a guide and a guardian, urging us to live consciously, to consider the effects of our actions, to see ourselves as creators of the world we inhabit. Yet the eye also reveals an uncomfortable truth. Seeing clearly is not always comforting. It means facing our shadows, acknowledging our mistakes, confronting the aspects of ourselves we may wish to ignore. True vision, the Freemasons tell us, requires honesty, humility, and courage. The all-seeing eye challenges us to look within and ask the hard questions. It is an invitation to face the parts of ourselves that still need to grow, to see where we may still be blind. This is the path to self-knowledge, to wisdom, to integrity. As we move forward, we will see how this awareness, this vision beyond vision, can transform our journey as creators of our own lives. Let us continue to carry with us the light of this inner vision to become architects of a world built on integrity, purpose, and truth. Throughout the Masonic tradition, one idea lies at the heart of every symbol, every teaching, every journey: the concept of the inner temple. Unlike temples of stone and death, this temple is intangible. It is a place of the mind and spirit, built not by the hands of a mason, but by the intentions, actions, and values of the individual. This inner temple is the ultimate structure that each of us must build. Imagine for a moment that your character, your values, your dreams, and your actions are the stones and bricks of this temple. Every thought, every choice, every lesson learned becomes part of the structure, adding to its stability, its strength. But this is no easy task. Masons teach that building the inner temple requires a commitment to discipline and integrity. The foundation of this temple is laid in silence and solitude, in those moments when no one is watching, when the only guidance comes from within. In this inner temple, each stone represents a principle or virtue that we embrace: honesty, compassion, resilience, courage. These are the elements that form its walls, the virtues that make them resilient. Just as a stone temple must withstand the forces of nature, our inner temple must be able to survive the challenges of life, to stand firm even when the world around us shakes. And so, each decision, each moment of growth, strengthens this temple, making it a place of refuge, a source of inner strength. But the work does not stop with building walls. Within the temple is a sacred space, a place of clarity and reflection. It is here that we confront ourselves, where we seek truth, where we ask the questions that guide us. In the Masonic tradition, this inner sanctuary is where we cultivate wisdom, where we bring forth the strength we have built, and where we find the courage to face both the shadows and the light. It is a space of honesty where we meet without pretensions, and, in this, we are refined. But Masons remind us that building the inner temple is never truly finished. It is a lifelong journey, an ongoing process of growing, learning, and striving for a higher ideal. With each experience, each challenge overcome, we add another layer, another piece, another rung. This temple grows with us, becoming not only a symbol of who we are, but of who we aspire to be. As we build this inner temple, we are reminded that it is not just for ourselves. This temple, once strong and complete, becomes a place from which we can serve others, a place from which we can guide and inspire. Just as ancient temples were built as sanctuaries, our inner temple is also a source of light for the world. Through our own mastery, we bring something powerful to those around us, a reminder that true strength lies within and that each of us has the capacity to become something greater. And so, as we come to this last leg of our journey, let us carry this understanding into the future, that the inner temple is both a gift and a responsibility. It is a call to live with integrity, to build with purpose, and to become a source of light for the world. So in a world that so desperately needs it, every stone, every step, brings us closer to this vision, a temple of yes, built not of stone but of the highest ideals within us all. As we reach the end of this journey, we come to a final truth essential to the Masonic tradition. The idea of yes as the final judge of the temple within. Through symbols, rituals, and teachings, we have seen how Masons use allegory to guide the builder on a path of self-knowledge, integrity, and wisdom. But in the end, no external force holds the final judgment. Instead, it is yes that weighs the worth of the temple we have built within. In the Masonic tradition, each individual is responsible for his or her own inner work. The choices we make, the actions we take, the intentions we hold, all of these become the foundation, the walls, the sacred space of our inner temple. And as we build, we must also be the observer, the one who looks back to see if this structure is aligned with our values, our purpose, our truth. We are both the architects and the judges. If you like this video and it added something to you, watch the next one. The next video will add more value to you. Leave a like, your comment is very important, subscribe to the channel, recommend this video to a friend and watch the next video.